In this video, I'm going to outline 3 passive income strategies that anybody can follow to go out there and make anywhere from $200 all the way up to $500 per day. As a matter of fact, you can make a lot more than that depending if you want to take it on as a full-time business for some of these options. So let's get right into it. Now, before I get started, I just want to go ahead and say the launch of the free 100K Blueprint book has been a massive, massive success. Over 7,000 people have gone on to download this particular book, which is absolutely incredible. However, what I'm going to let you know is that this upcoming week on this Tuesday, we're actually holding the first live workshops. And guess what? They're actually live. So if you want to go ahead and come on and ask questions, and if you want me to say your name live on call so you can see that it's live, go ahead and register and do that. So the times are 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be doing these calls live each and every single one of those times. They're not pre-recorded, they're live. And this is exactly what you're going to be learning. I'm flashing it on the screen right now. It's just going to be scrolling through. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about why you're here on this video. It's more so to learn about these passive income streams. So let's just dive right into it. Number one is, quite frankly, my favorite. Now, again, I am very biased to this because this is one that I set up properly and I do it quite often. So for me, it becomes very passive once you understand how to do it. Number one is dropshipping or e-commerce. Now, when it comes down to e-commerce is very vast. And number two is another form of e-commerce. However, this form of e-commerce is known as dropshipping. So what is dropshipping exactly? It's essentially where you find a product for, let's just say $1 and sell it for $10. Then the margin that you have in the middle, that $9 margin, is what your profit would be before you actually spend money on advertising. So a lot of people, they go out there and they set up these stores, and all they do with these stores is they run a bunch of advertisements, whether it's from YouTube traffic, Google traffic, Facebook traffic, and they send it all back to their store. And these people, this traffic buys from these people. And then let's just say each sale costs the store owner $3 and the product is $1 and they're selling it for $10. That means that their profit margin is around 60% or $6 for every $10 made. So again, just keep in mind that the dropshipping business model is one that's fairly easy, and these products can be found on sites like AliExpress and DHgate and many other websites out there that are supplier-based websites. Now, again, there's other routes that you can go down, which is finding a dropshipping supplier, or more so dropshipping agent, which isn't directly involved with a supplier. So you have a supplier that dropships, and then you also have a dropshipping agent that can dropship for you. And this is something that I talk about on the live workshop that we're hosting as well. So that's option number one. Let's dive into option number two. So option number two is pretty cool because a lot of people don't know that you can do this. But Amazon offers the capability for anybody to go out there and sell their products on Amazon. Now, how this business model works is pretty interesting because aside from dropshipping, where you're just finding products at a massive discount and then marking them up and selling them, what you're doing with Amazon FBA is known as white labeling. Now, what is white labeling? It's basically where you take, let's just say, this camera lens, and rather than it saying Lumix, it can say your particular brand. It can go out there and say, like Johns, if Johns was your camera lens brand. So you can take any product in existence, literally any single product. Obviously, if you try to do like computers and whatnot, it becomes a little bit more difficult and a lot more expensive, but you can legitimately take, or I almost dropped that, but you can legitimately take any product that you want and put your label on it. And what you can do is you can actually send it to Amazon, and it's really cool because of the fact that Amazon does all the selling for you. Do you have to pay for ads? Yes, you do. You're going to have to pay for advertisements when it comes down to Facebook advertisements, or Amazon. They have their own pay-per-click platform that will allow you to send traffic from the Amazon search to your actual listing. Because let's face it, there's only 2 ways you can legitimately get traffic on Amazon. Number one is actually by placing on the first page of the Amazon listing for the search term that you're trying to rank for, or number two, getting people by a third party, or in this case, not really a third party, but Amazon's their own internal pay-per-click platform, where you can use sites that are third party like Facebook to send traffic to your Amazon product. So again, there's a lot of different routes that you could go down, and a site that you can use would be Alibaba.com, not AliExpress. AliExpress is for suppliers. Alibaba is more so geared for the bulk ordering products. Now, what I will say about this business model is that it requires a little bit more upfront capital and investment in order to get started. What do I mean by that exactly? Well, some of the minimum orders that you see on Alibaba will be 75 or 200 units or 1,000 units, depending on whether it's small or big. So again, the actual amount that it costs you to get started might be a little bit more than dropshipping. However, they both require some sort of paid advertisement in order to pay to play. But over time with Amazon, and why it becomes more passive, is because once you maintain and once you get to the first rankings or the first 3 rankings, or at least the very first page, it becomes more passive because you just have to make sure that your product is constantly flowing to the Amazon warehouse. And I didn't mention this before, but the way this business model works is Amazon has warehouses, and how you get a product from the manufacturer to Amazon is, quite frankly, you go ahead and you get a label inside of your Amazon seller's dashboard, your Amazon Seller Central dashboard, and then you go over to your manufacturer, you give them the label and say, hey, send this over to Amazon on my behalf. And once Amazon gets it, it's listed for you, and everything else is done automatically. So again, that's a little bit more passive than dropshipping. However, it does require a little bit more startup capital, and more so a little bit more patience, because you won't see the instantaneous cash flow or the instantaneous positive cash flow that you want compared to dropshipping. But nonetheless, however you slice it, they're both very passive once you set them up. Let's talk about the third one. Now, the third option for passive income is very interesting. This one is a little bit more active than passive, but I do believe if you set yourself up correctly, and there are different ways that you can go out there and set this up passively. Now, if you've ever seen those ads on Craigslist that are like cash for gold and you call in, right? Those people that run those businesses, you know, sometimes they're brokers, sometimes they're pawn shop owners, whatever it is. They have a business model that's very passive because people come to them and they can decide yes or no on it, and that's their profit. Now, we're going to talk about arbitrage more than anything, product arbitrage. Like going to garage sales and whatnot, and going on, you know, the free ads on Craigslist, the free ads on Facebook ads as well, because they have a marketplace now, and looking what people are basically trying to throw out or give away for free. A lot of times these people just want to get rid of it rather rapidly, and they don't realize that, you know, somebody else wants it to sell it. There's a lot of people that do this. There's your local area has a free side of Craigslist, has a free side of their Facebook marketplace, and there's people listing different items, whether it's couches, you know, electronics, different household items. And guess what? You can go ahead and take those products from them because their main goal is to get rid of these products. Now, what do you do exactly with these particular products? Well, quite simple. You go out there and you list it on a site like eBay, and you can go ahead and sell these products, and guess what? You keep 100% of whatever you make because the product was free in the first place. So let me actually just show you. I'm going to browse through here right on my screen. You're going to be able to see a bunch of free listings and a bunch of things that people are just giving away near me, near one of my cities. And fortunately for me, I live literally not even 5 minutes away from the heart of New York City, which is Manhattan. So there's a lot of people giving away a lot of things at any given time. So when you're looking at this, it's because of the fact, and how you see so many results on my screen is because of the fact that I live very close to a super populated city. So when it comes down to it, this is a very, very good way for you to make a lot of extra income, for you to move that money around and put it into something that could become more passive. However, something that I've seen and something that I've heard is I actually have 2 friends from high school. What they did was they hired other high schoolers to go out and do their garage picking. So these kids know exactly what to find, and they also go thrift shopping. So they get paid to essentially shop. It's kind of a weird technique, but the margins that they skim are anywhere from 30 to 60%, because if they find cool clothing, they sell it online. Let's say they pick up a shirt for $5, they can sell that same exact shirt for $20, $30, depending on the shirt, you know, what type of shirt it is, to a certain market, or shoes, or electronics, whatever it is. And these kids, they go out there and they garage sale pick and go through a bunch of stuff and bring them back whatever they believe to be has a high value. Some items are incredibly worth a lot more than what the perceived value is from these pickers, and some of them just have no value. It's a break even, and sometimes they even take a loss. That's why the profit margin isn't 100%. Like if you do it yourself, you might know exactly what sells to what market, and you can keep 100% of that. So again, if you want to make that passive, you could just hire somebody to go out there, and perhaps if you have kids, have them go out there. It's always a good strategy, you know, telling your kids, hey, here's some money, go to garage sales, get whatever you think we could sell, and they probably know it's selling better than you do, and that would be a cool strategy as well. And again, that's one that I haven't done yet because I don't have kids. Gosh, that day will come. There will be little Dans running around. But I don't have kids, so I can't talk too much about that if that's even viable. What I can tell you is that I have garage picked and garage sale picking, if you will call it. I have done that myself. So that's a very good way for you to go out there and earn some extra capital. So if you want to go ahead and learn how to start a dropshipping store, go ahead and watch this video. You can see exactly how I made well over and almost $500,000. So well over $498,000, but I was $1,000 shy of cracking $500,000 in under 2 months. Watch this video right here. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you register for one of the live workshops that we're holding this upcoming Tuesday. Very, very important. And if you're watching this in the future, well after the live webinars have happened, there might be a replay, an on-demand replay that you can watch, but I'm not going to guarantee that whatsoever because I'm going to be revealing a lot of stuff that, quite frankly, I only want to share with those people that make it to the actual live workshop. So again, check out this video right over here if you want to go ahead and learn more about creating a dropshipping store, and make sure you subscribe with notifications and make sure you're there on the workshop this Tuesday. I'll see you then.